Hello, guys. This is a review of The Black Phone. I just watched this movie last night, so it's fresh in my head. I don't think it's going to be uploaded today, but anyway, this movie gives you so much to talk about. The movie's about the grabber, this kidnapper from the 70s, I would say. He takes teenage boys and molests them, maybe, and then kills them. We see the main protagonist, Finney. He has a sister who dreams things, things that happen in real life. He is kind of the loser in the school. He has a friend that defends him, and that friend ends up getting kidnapped too. So now he's there alone to fend for himself, and well, his sister supports him. He lives in a very abusive household where his father is mourning the death of their mother, and he lashes out at them for the littlest things. Um, since this protagonist, Finney, he's the last one to get abducted, we come to realize later on in the film that Max is a brother of the grabber. He's staying there so the grabber doesn't have the freedom to do as he pleases and to play these sadistic games and murder Finney, so he keeps him a lot longer than usual, and also Finney doesn't play into his games. So what the grabber expects you to do is to not listen to him, be disobedient, and be try to escape so that he could punish you. He calls this game Naughty Boy. Finney doesn't play Naughty Boy, and he ends up, surviving all throughout, giving it enough time. And by the way, huge important detail. There's a black phone in the room that rings, and he speaks to the spirits of the murdered boys, and the sister is picking up clues on her own via her dreams. And she alerts the police of where he's at. They manage to save him, and that's that. When he comes back, one of the girls that he's interested in, she's like, "Hey, Finney." He's like, "Call me Finn." So we have that type of finale. Let's talk about my opinions about the film. As I was watching the film, I really didn't know what to expect. I heard a lot about the black phone, a lot. Like it was like headline, headline, headline. I didn't read any article. I didn't read any review. I didn't watch any review on YouTube. I didn't do anything. I went into this just um, with a blank mind, just getting ready to fill in with whatever it is that this movie um, brought. And I mean, I'm kind of like, where could I go with this? I had so many questions. For one, I didn't know if he was a pedophile or not. Like, uh, uh, I only found out through research because when I finished this movie, I was like, I have to know all these questions. Like, what? Like, because there's a scene, there's a lot of little details. When he abducts Finney, he's like, what are you gonna do to me or something? He's like, don't worry, I'm not gonna do anything that you won't like. So that's one. Then he's waiting for him, shirtless, and that's kind of one of the only scenes that I saw on Instagram, well, shots. So I thought that it was gonna be, well, I didn't know what, honestly, I didn't know what to think, but I understand. Like I was reading some columns on Reddit and stuff, and they were like, "Oh, people are romanticizing pedophilia and kidnappers and serial killers, like with Jeffrey Dahmer right now with the series and stuff." It's true, people are, but I think it's more just like a sick, twisted fantasy more than reality. Because if you're actually thinking that anything that these killers do in real life is good, you're crazy. Like, dude, like obviously it should be a no-brainer that killing people is wrong, holding people against their will is wrong, all of that is wrong, obviously. but there is a department for, and obviously everything that I'm saying, please, if you're not an adult, please exit the video. I'm not going to make it for adults only because I'm going to keep it with the PG-13 vocabulary, but just know that this isn't for you. Please, come on, don't mess up your brain earlier than you have to. So what was I saying? Yeah, and adult content, there is a category that's very popular for these type of things, like the dominatrix and the like the whole teacher student type of thing. So that's that. But then looking at the film, you don't really get too much of that, because I was thinking there's a possibility that he's just a killer, or that he's even friendly, like twisted friendly type of stuff. Because well, not you in particular, but generally speaking, your father is like shirtless home, you know, that my dad was shirtless sometimes in his own house, like inside, not outside. So that's normal. I didn't think too much of it. And then the whole whipping, if you get whooped, if you get hit, then yeah, it could happen while the person is shirtless. Like there's a lot of like excuses that I was building for myself. I was like, oh well, maybe not that. Because the way that he goes about kidnapping the kids, and the games that he wanted to play, maybe not the game itself, but to me it seemed like he was friendly at times. He was very soft spoken. I was like, he reminds me of me, because he has like this very like airy type of voice, like everything is going to be, and then when things go wrong he just turns like this. Like every time he's angry he changes the tone of his voice, and I'm very cartoonish. I don't know if you could see, like "Ah, ah, ah." So I was like, maybe he's just not that bad. But then I was expecting, like, again, I know that it's a horror film, so I was like, if it's in the, I know it's a thriller mainly, but it has to have some type of bad, of evilness to it. So what is it? So I had a lot of questions. I remember, like, near like 15 minutes in the film, into the film, I was thinking nothing's happening that is really capturing my attention. I think like they're trying to do strange. I haven't watched Stranger Things, but I get the feel of it, and I feel like now a lot of people are like, oh, let's do it about kids. And I don't have a problem. Like, for example, what is it? Don't Be Afraid of the Dark, that Nickelodeon reboot series. Are You Afraid of the Dark? I think it's called. I enjoyed that a lot because it was straight up horror and paid homage to the grades. It made references. It just kept it very very campy but also spooky. I like that, and kids were involved. I was telling my siblings, let's watch it, let's watch it. I was thinking about this one to watch with my little sister, and then as I was watching I was like, probably not. But yeah, it just gets you thinking. And also it's so important to note that back in those days we have, like, a lot of famous serial killers. Like um I don't remember exactly what year this is taking place in, but yeah, we have John Wayne Gacy. I read a lot of comparisons between that killer that dressed up as a clown and the grabber, because they're both like Ippity and balloons and stuff like that. And then I read some criticism, and I have a lot of articles, well, a couple of articles I still have yet to read, because I want to know what other reviewers and other, movie enthusiasts thought about the film. There's a lot of controversy with the misrepresentation of LGBT community, um, people in the LGBT community in villainous roles. In my opinion, I'm going to be honest, being in the LGBT umbrella myself, I really don't give a damn. I think that art shouldn't be censored. You should be able to say whatever the F you want, however you want. It's a movie, for goodness sakes. If they told me, oh, we're going to get this child decapitated for the film, I'm going to be like, no, no, we're not. But it's a film, it's made up. You could say anything about Mexicans. I'm Mexican, it doesn't matter. As long as you don't go on the, press conferences and do a media tour and be like, yeah, what that savage thing that we did in the movie, I'm 100%, no. Like, throughout the film, I felt like Eric Cartman from South Park in his Nazi getup, You know, when he when he rallies everyone up, and it's like, I think with the Passion of Christ, after watching that film, he's like, I think we all know what needs to be done. In the movie, I was thinking like, I don't know if you understand this, but I was like, I think we all know what's going on. Like, uh, I'm struggling to find words that are PG-13 to get my point across. But basically, yeah, if you want to have a gay murderer, if you want to have a lesbian child molester, do whatever you want. It's a film. Be creative. And if you think that gay people are not crazy and are not killers and are not pedophiles, you're very wrong. There are. There are everything of everyone. There are black people who, I don't know, kill and eat cats. There are Chinese people who um, sell their daughters to the highest bidder. There's everything in all races. Everybody could be crazy, and everybody could be wrong, and everybody could be or act bad. Because I don't think that everybody's born evil. But anyway, that's a whole different conversation. The black phone, more than anything, it wasn't very creepy to me. I mean, it was uncomfortable is the word. The black phone is more than anything uncomfortable to me. I was thinking if this goes more like the pedophile route, then I'm not gonna want to rewatch this very much, because I have another film that's kind of about. I think it's called The Glass Cage or something like that. I need to review a very heavy movie. So then I like watching movies that teach me something and that I could relate to in some way. It doesn't matter how evil, how dark it is. It doesn't matter. I enjoy um the gory aspects. You could have like somebody spit up their heart from their throat, and I'll be like, yeah, but I'll enjoy it. But this movie, I was like, well, what is it gonna give me? At the end, it gave me something very important. It gave me hope, and it gave me a strong character that thought of themselves as weak, but then learned through the friends that he was with, or that talked to him through the phone, that he had the strength in him. At that point, I was like, this is my my portable DVD player where I was watching the film. This was me. The minute that he was like, yeah, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna fill this phone with dirt, and I'm gonna whack the person. He never said that, but that's what he was going to do. I was like this close. I was like, yes, you could do that. You could do that, Finn. So that's probably the most interesting, the part that I mostly enjoyed, where I was like, is it really gonna happen? We have like a Silence of the Lambs kind of situation there. Is he really going to kill the grabber or not? So we got a very good ending, but it's not enough to give me for me to relate. Like, I don't know. I guess I have to watch it again, knowing what I know now from all the articles that I read and all the columns on blogs that I was reading last night, because it was a bit disturbing, and I feel like they left out a lot of things. Like, they could have made reference to him and what he was doing, and how um why in his twisted brain, like, even if it didn't make sense, even he was like, yeah, like my dad beat me, so I'm gonna beat them, or like, I was raped too, whatever. But just give me something so that I could understand him a little bit better, because we just have him like acting crazy. and and I'm like, what am I gonna learn from this? um it doesn't have to be like a school type of thing, like, oh, students, this is what you're, I know what you're not supposed to do. It's not about that. It's just that give me something so where I could feel a little bit of sympathy for him, or I could feel disgust for him. Because what he's doing, at first, like I said, I was like, is he really doing anything? Like, obviously, kidnapping people, even if you don't do anything worse afterwards, it's still wrong and illegal. But I was like, maybe he is very mentally unstable, and he thinks that they're his friends, or we're gonna find out that it's all a fun game. I don't know. I had so many options. I was like, maybe his face is deformed. I don't know, but this movie, I feel like it's good. Yes, I understand why so many people like it, but to me, it was just very uncomfortable. I don't think it's gonna be as uncomfortable now that I know a little bit more, because I'm gonna be like, oh, and they put that because of that, they put that because of that. So it's gonna be a little bit more fun in that regard, and a little bit more straightforward. And when things are straightforward, then it stops being so crazy. Like I Spit on Your Grave, obviously the whole theme of the movie is rape, revenge for the rape that happens, and it's yucky and everything. But then I'm like, I know that I'm gonna get, what I want, because this girl's gonna go over them and do crazy things to them too. So that's kind of what I wanted for this one. It didn't really happen, but anyway, it is solid. The acting of the grabber, I think it's Ethan Hawke. I think that's what it says here. And I've watched Sinister. I think that he's in Sinister, but I haven't watched Sinister in a long time. Anyway, the grabber, amazing acting, so great. The Like I said, the switch in the voice, and the like. He's sometimes very happy, and then he's very dark, and then he's, oh, I bet you wouldn't want to do that. Like, I don't know. I enjoyed it. Me being interested in like acting and everything, I loved it. Um, the kids were also very good actors. At sometimes, like, it seemed a little bit stale, but then it makes sense because of the decades, um, or the decade that it was supposed to take place in. So kids didn't really talk the way that people are like, nothing, no, on God. Like, people didn't talk like that back then. So it makes sense that it didn't flow the way that it did now. Though they did have a potty mouth. Like that girl, Finn's sister, damn, she she went off on the cops. She would go off on everybody except her daddy. Respect. Um, and it's a sad reality of life. Sometimes you're abused by your own parents, and I think he learned his lesson in the end. And they're not monsters. That's what I'm trying to say. The dad is not like, kill him. No, he needs psychological help, and it's not up to the kids to give him that help. But if you are able, instead of just taking the kids away permanently, take them away for a while he recovers, and then make sure that the abuse doesn't happen. But I don't think that they should cancel their relationship altogether. I'm sure that this isn't a popular opinion, but in life we go through traumatic experiences that shape who we are, and sometimes shape us in a way that we weren't meant to be, and we feel like the evil mask fits us best, but it doesn't mean that we're evil inside. We need correction and love, and the dad needs correction and love. Yeah, I mean, there's other things about the film, but I think that's like the main thing that I was having trouble understanding. Yeah, good acting, good acting. It was it wasn't that fun. I didn't enjoy it that much, but I understand that it was good, and it left me thinking. So if it leaves me thinking, you get a thumbs up automatically. I would rate the movie 8.5 out of 10 in its category, strictly in its category. But it could be higher for, like, general audiences, I'm sure. But for me, I'm gonna, with what I like, this is obviously a personal rating. I'm gonna go ahead and give it 8.5 out of 10. And I think that's it for this one. Thank you for watching.